Another interesting thing to talk about is how we printed products. And we did offset printing. We printed off of a rubber die. And we would have to go in St. Louis, I would go to a printer and have the type set. And then we would send the type up here, and we would use a Bakelite board and burn the type into the board in reverse. Then we would take rubber and put it on the top of that board and press it down and vulcanize it and burn it, melt it into this board to get the type to show up on the rubber. And then we would have a negative. We would have to read it backwards. Then we would put it on the machine and ink the machine. And then when the pen rolled over the product, the die, it came out positive because it was backward on the die, and it would come out positive on the screwdriver or the pen or whatever. I mean, it was like back in the 10th century how we produced this stuff.
But
we thought we were really big stuff.
So the accomplishment on that, so the growth of the company came with different processes. So that was to make a printing plate to get it printed. Now we print a film off of a desk printer and we burn it on a screen and we take it out and we print it. Or we don't even have to do anything like that. Some of the areas, our F-jets, our lasers, we just put it in the system and they pull it up and
you put it in the computer
and it comes out.
And they put the product on there and the computer prints it on there.
Yep.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, individual names we would have to engrave one at a time with this machine that we trace the name and then have to put gold crayon in it and all that to get it to show up. Now all we do is just, put 20 of them in there and they just crank out with different names on them.
Right.
And it's all automated.
So automation, automation, the accomplishments of automation. We went from sitting at machines, 3 people. Now we have 1 person that runs a machine that produces a screwdriver. We have 1 person that runs a machine that produces the whole product. So that accomplishments, and when we got all these machines that were automated, the growth of the company. We had orders that were $1.8 million. We had a pen order that was, it was thousands. It was probably 500 to $1 million over the years that we did. We went from putting an emblem on and putting a bubble on it, and had to sit overnight, put it in the oven. Now we put the bubble on it, put it down in the oven, it's done in two minutes. Same way with the screwdriver machines that used to take probably 2 hours to do 1,000. Now we do 1,000 an hour.
Dan, what about some of your accomplishments that you had that Alexander has been recognized over the years within the industry?
I've been very active in PPAI and in the industry. It's just a tremendous effort a tremendous joy to be part of an industry that's creative, and you see so many different products being produced. And we have, as I mentioned, in 2003, the 100th anniversary of the promotional products business, I was installed in the Hall of Fame as a supplier, and it was really a tremendous honor. You all were there, I think, at the time. But it's a tremendous honor, not for me only, but for the company, because the company is the one that was recognized in the industry. And I was just a part of that. But just the efforts and what you learn, sharing ideas and working with a variety of companies that have the same thought pattern, even though they're not producing the same product we are. They're producing a cap or a jacket or a watch or something, a mug or cup or whatever. But it's just an exciting world that we live in, particularly in this industry. And I've been in it since I was 15 years old. I'm 87, and that's a long time being involved in this industry. And I have some pictures here of our employees from back in the 70s, and I can you may not be able to get these too well, but anyway, from back in the 70s and the 80s. And then I have some here, some other ones. We used to take a Christmas picture of everybody every year and put it in the newspaper. That might be an idea. What was it, Lexington Journal?
Yeah, Lexington.
Yeah.
Guess
Is it
we
still
still have,
around?
yeah.
For crying out loud.
Yeah.
But anyway, these companies, as I mentioned when we started this little show here, I mentioned how God directs us through different things. And all the way from a great grandfather who just happened to learn how to fix a gold pen point that fell off in the battlefield during the Civil War, and then decided to keep that going. And then a grandfather that married his daughter, and how he invented and got patents on a fountain pen, which is something like this, as I mentioned, with the lever fill. About patents on a fountain pen. How my father, getting into the industry, the promotional products industry, and coming up with the idea of a pocket screwdriver, which is, there probably aren't 5% of the products ever invented that are still around for 100 years later, that are still very top producers and very used, highly used. I mean, technology has taken most of that away, but that little pocket screwdriver is the greatest gift that ever came to us as a company, and has passed through 2 different companies, and the greatest gift that we could possibly have, and how thankful we are that we have great employees.
And we're still using some of the same machines.
Yeah,
We've
that we had made.
that you had made,
I had made
and they're automated. There's bladers. We still do some things still by hand that we've been successful with. Some other accomplishments for Alexander is we've been awarded like 5-star awards
Absolutely.
through different distributors and things like that. We've been awarded the 4th of July committee from Twanda awarded us the Business of the Year. Remember?
Yeah,
We did that a year ago. Twanda's recognizes Alexander for giving them 4th of July pens every year for almost 35 years. So
Fantastic.
that's a accomplishment for a company in a small town to give to them that. And we also have been awarded some little awards through the schools. We probably 20 some years ago started doing some programs with the normal community school through the special education. And they've,
Disabled children.
yes, they've given us, they recognized us a few years ago at one of their, I don't remember what it was, but we still work with normal community with the special needs group.
We have how many here now?
We have 2 employees that are Alexander employees, and then we have 3 from the high school that work this summer school. We have 4 or 5 coming back this fall to work with us, maybe more. Or Susie and I have
All
been
these
working
are special.
We've been working with Mark Center to maybe see if there's other older special needs people to help. So I think Alexander should be very proud of that as an accomplishment that we've worked very hard at. And these young gentlemen, and we're going to have a young woman now come through, are just fantastic. And the employees just are so good to them. And over the years, we've just grown with all of this. I know at one time we had 100 and some employees because of the way we did things.
Yeah.
Now we're down to a lot less because of the upgrades,
Automation.
of the automations. We've automated printing, we've automated laser, we've automated labeling. Now if we just, some of the other areas, we brought on a few other areas like our emery board line. We still have that. As you say, the screwdriver line is very our highest selling line, but our emery board line, they put out a lot of
You bet.
product in a very, I don't know, it's very all hand done. So you send out a lot of emery boards
Yes.
that
We sent a lot of stuff out years ago before we brought the kids in. We used to send
Right.
boxes
Right.
and boxes
We sent-
and boxes.
we
over
worked
to the
with
school where they,
different companies for them to
Sure.
and
to
they
do
did-
other
They
things.
did the hand thing.
Whether our accomplishments have been those that Alexander received from outside, or whether the accomplishments of us expanding the way that we look at employees in the community with working with adults with special needs as well. Our accomplishments are all there because of our customers.
Right.
And so what would you say is one of maybe our most memorable customers, or maybe one of the most memorable orders that Alexander has received?
Well, I think National Premium
That's
probably put us on the board. When we had, again, they had the Snap-on account, and our competition, the Lipic Pen Company, had the Snap-on account, and through National Premium. And I was at a show, and Dick Schmidt came along, and we just started talking, and I found out that he had the the Snap-on account, and so anyway, we just clicked together, and I said, it would be a tremendous help. We're struggling, and this is a couple of years into the business at Alexander, so it'd be 1971, and I said, Dick, I said, it would just be an awesome help if we could get you to give us this business. And he said, Joe, let me take a look at it. He called me a week later and said, I'm going to turn it over to you. And he said, you think you can handle it? I said, yes, we can. And not being sure that we could, but I said, yes, we can. And really, for over 50 years, we have been supplying Snap-on tools with their pocket screwdrivers. And there've been tens of millions of screwdrivers. And that is the one thing that probably kept us going in good times and bad. And you could always bank on the Snap-on business. And Dick was a dear friend. We took many trips together, and I was fortunate enough to give his eulogy at his funeral. But he was a dear friend, and his family, and we just saw them last fall, and the family, and they were commenting about how they felt their dad's spirit was with us at that meeting. So the relationships with customers and with people that you build friendships in this industry are deep and very valuable. And this is a personal business. Yes, there's still a lot of price stuff and things like that, but the real thing that gets your business back all the time is the fact that people like you, and they trust you, and they know you're going to deliver when it's needed. And that's being done by the people here at this plant, and they can be very proud of that. So you can sell all you want, but if you can't get it out of the door, it doesn't make much difference. So, and get it out in a good way.
And there was times we weren't sure we were going to get all those Snap-on orders out the door. There was there was
like we worked at them the day before Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah, and he's right. Snap-on's been there. They're still here.
Right.
We still do orders for them. Not quite as many as we used to, but we still do orders for them. I don't remember when who or when they got the Salem Trophy
Salem Trophy with the
for Johnstone Supply. We
Johnstone
still
Supply.
do that one. It's not through Salem Trophy anymore, but we still do Johnstone Supply. They've been a customer that I remember we've just done a lot of screwdrivers for. I think the most unique order we don't do anymore were the State Farm pens.
Yep.
We did order a lot of State Farm plastic pens that had probably 6 pieces to it.
Yeah.
We printed, those machines were cranked up to the highest speed they could pretty much go, because we were printing 10 to 20,000 pens a day on each machine.
A lot of them.
And we were putting those together and getting those shipped out. Unfortunately, they went to a cheaper pen and a different route, and a different company probably went overseas to get their pens done.
Yeah.
But
we're going to have to go back and try to get that back again. So we were talking about that when we drove into Bloomington. Anyway,
we help each other.
It's time that things move on, and that just like they did with all these years since 1863, and here it is, 2022.
We've been through a lot.
There's been through a lot, and great experience, and we're thankful to God and thankful to our employees and thankful to our customers for making this all happen.
If there wasn't a lot of good employees,
wouldn't happen.
It would not have happened.
That's for sure.
Me, my mom, all the 4. Thank goodness for those first 4 ladies that helped you out, so that I would have a career.
Oh,
Mom had a career. I mean, the business for your family. It's wonderful that they could do that. And there's been many employees that worked here that have retired from here. And,
exactly.
And Jay worked here. My husband Jay worked here for almost 20 years, and guess what? He's back helping.
Yeah, I heard he was. That's good.
He's back helping. He's mowing. He's keeping that yard out there looking,
That's
getting
good.
it looking better and stuff. So people leave, people come back, people leave. You know, there's other opportunities for people, but I've had a good time. I love working here. I wouldn't have stuck it out because there were some times. I mean, we've had
Sure.
some plant managers, we've had some different salespeople that had some different ideas and things. So we all were a little anxious and
No question.
didn't quite know what was going to happen and didn't know where our careers were going to go. So.
You don't always make the right moves.
No.
You just try to do your best and correct the situations when they happen.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, thank you very much.